friends, welcome back to Fastcuts. Earthquake is a 2016 Armenian drama film directed by Sarek Andresian about the 1988 Armenian earthquake. The movie intends to narrate the changes in the behavior of people after the disaster. Moreover, the real pictures published in newspapers after the earthquake also has been exhibited in the movie.
The movie begins by showing a beautiful landscape of Armenia. A family including father, mother, son, and grandfather were driving their car through the beautiful road alongside the hill. Their car entered a tunnel. Another car in which the driver was alone also entered the tunnel from the opposite direction. At the request of his wife, the husband who was driving the car went to put on the radio in the car. As he diverted his attention, the car collided with the other car coming in the opposite direction. The man came out and checked the family car to realize that only the boy survives. The man rescued him and went out of the tunnel with the boy. The next scene is after 8 years. A young man got up from bed and looked around the city. This is the boy who survived the car accident, and his name is Robert. He has grown up. Everybody was busy in the city. Children were playing, merchants were busy bringing their stock to market, etc. Robert went out and entered a parlor in which a beautiful girl was also seen. The man in the parlor is Senek, and he is Robert's cousin. Robert told him that the person who hit his car and killed his parents will be released from jail that day, and he will join his family. Senek asked Robert whether he can recognize him. Robert replied that he has the address of the person. The girl Robert saw in the parlor was walking to her home, and her name is Lilith. In front of her house, she met a person named Escopian, and he told her that he has given a gift to her at her house as he loves her. She went into her house without telling him anything. Escopian walked away in dismay. Lilith reached home, and her brother Supin told her about the gift given by Escopian. It was a marble table, but Lilith wanted to excel in her studies, and warned Supin not to talk anymore about Escopian. In the parlor, Senek gave a gun to Robert, saying that he may require it for safety. Another customer came to the parlor, and Robert told him that his watch looks very beautiful. In another place, while an old man was watching TV, his wife returned from the market with some vegetables. He asked her whether she bought a trap for the rats as some rats were in their house. She said no, and also informed him that his daughter Gayan will be reaching their house shortly. But he did not like his daughter coming home as she married a person whom he did not like. Both of them were arguing when talking about their daughter. In the meantime, their daughter came outside, and the mother went out to receive her. She was pregnant and both of them hugged. But the father came out and shouted at Gayans to go from there. She went back and her husband was pacifying her. They went to meet a doctor in the hospital. They also saw a mother and child there known to Gayans. Again in the market, a mother and son were buying meat. It was the wife and son of the person who hit Robert's car. The son was very happy as his father Bereznoy is returning from jail, and because of that, they were buying meat. Bereznoy was traveling in a flight, and he was carrying the photographs of his wife and children. He was watching outside through the window of the plane, and the air hostess asked him whether it is the first time he is visiting Armenia. He said no and told her that his family is there. Bereznoy's daughter was playing a flute on the terrace. At the same time, Robert reached a place near Bereznoy's house and checked the gun. The music from the flute was heard in the background. It was 11:40 in the morning. Gayan's father Oram was walking outside his house and smoking. Suddenly a big sound came out. It was an earthquake. Buildings were collapsed one by one. House of Gayans, the parlor of Senek, house of Lilith, and all collapsed. Lilith's brother advised her to sit under the marble table given by Escopian. In the market also the situation was not different. Everybody was running for their life. Bereznoy's son missed from her mother, but the butcher had traced him and handed over him to his mother Anna. She ran out of the market with her son. By then the market collapsed. Bereznoy was looking through the window of the plane to see the destruction of his city. Escopian directed his driver to drive through the collapsing buildings. But after going a while, the vehicle overturned. As soon as the flight landed, Bereznoy and other travelers ran out of the airport. Escopian and the driver came out of the overturned vehicle and directed others to stand under an arch there. But the arch also collapsed, and Escopian also fell down. Gayan's husband Rosh ran out of the hospital with her. The boy they met earlier was trapped inside the hospital. His mother was pleading for help, standing beneath the building. Rosh asked Gayan to wait there and went upstairs to rescue that boy, but he had no way to come down as the building was collapsing. Then he throws that boy into the hands of his mother waiting down, and she holds the boy in her arms. The hospital building fully collapsed, and Rosh lost his life in the collapsed building. On seeing this, Gayans was crying as the to-be-born baby had lost his father. Only one hand of Rosh could have been seen out of the debris. Bereznoi was running to reach his house to meet his family. Anna was also injured as one steel rod pierced her stomach. In the parlor, Sanik escaped with the watch of the customer he was attending. Robert was walking in the middle of the collapsed buildings. One policeman approached Robert and requested his help to rescue his father, who was trapped under a slab. Robert and the policeman could succeed in lifting the slab with Jackie from a vehicle parked there and rescued the policeman's father. Gayan's father moved near his house and called his wife, but there was no response. Iskopian was mentally down and sitting without knowing what to do. Others were taking the injured persons into a truck. One of them was the owner of the truck, and his name was Misha. He said it was his birthday yesterday, and those injured were his friends who attended the party. He asked Iskopian also to enter the truck. Robert was walking again and stopped near a slab on seeing a scarf, which he pulled out. It was Lilith under the slab. She was pleading for help. Misha was coming with his truck, and Robert stopped his truck to get help to save Lilith. But Misha was fighting with Robert as he stopped his vehicle in which he was taking injured friends. Bereznoi also reached there only to see the name board of his house there. Bereznoi saw the fighting Robert and Misha and inquired what happened. After a discussion, they decided to take the injured persons to hospital first. Banya was running in search of his sister. He could not recognize the exact place where his house was situated. He was calling her sister, but no response. Misha was driving his vehicle, but he was crying as he lost his friends. People from other parts also reached out to help affected persons. Banya came back near Anna. He was so sad as he could not trace his sister, and was also not able to make out where was their house. She consoled him and started to walk. Misha's truck reached the hospital and took the injured persons in stretches. Iskopian dragged a dead body and covered its face with his cap. Gayan was crying looking at the body of her husband. Hingina came there and advised that crying like that is not good for the baby in her womb. Bereznoi told Robert and Misha to collect some firewoods in the evening, as it will be quite cool at night. Robert insisted on rescuing Lilith, but Bereznoi not responded. Robert took out a rope from the truck and tied one end on the truck and another end to the slab to rescue Lilith. Then he asked Misha to move the vehicle slowly. Bereznoi came there and stopped the rescue operation, telling them that it is urgent to take injured people to the hospital. Collecting firewood is also important as it will be very cold at night. He also told that after completing these works, Lilith can be rescued. Robert was not happy. Bereznoi explained to him the position of the slabs where Lilith was trapped, and he said only with the help of a crane, Lilith can be rescued. The policeman also came there and suggested Robert act according to the directions of Bereznoi. He had deputed some more people for helping Bereznoi. Anna was searching for her daughter along with her son Vanya, but Vanya fell down as she was injured in her stomach. She asked Vanya to go from that place. He smelled something wrong and asked her mother whether she will die like others. She said no and assured him that she will be always with him, and they cried embracing each other. Iskopian continued collecting dead bodies, and he became abnormal. He saw a horse cart there and went in search of dead bodies, pulling that cart. It was getting colder, and hence Robert had given a blanket to Lilith through the gap of the slab, and she thanked him. Robert assured to rescue her the next day. The policeman and Bereznoi were talking, and Bereznoi told the policeman that he was making small buildings and toilets in jail for the last 8 years. The policeman asked Bereznoi whether he met his family. Bereznoi said, when he reached the city, he could see a totally destructed place, and was not able to trace his family. The policeman left the place after pacifying him. Misha came there with food for all, but one person was not taking food as he was very sad as he lost his brother. In another place, Sanik was looting the shops along with some other people. He advised others to take only cash and jewelry. In the hospital, one doctor was treating the injured persons late at night along with a nurse. Hingina came to the hospital with Gayans who had labor pain. The doctor said it is the first time he is going to attend a delivery case late night. Iskopian was busy collecting dead bodies in his horse cart even at that time also. The next day people were removing the debris from the buildings and searching. Bereznoi has got a flute like the one his daughter was playing. He said his daughter also had one like that flute. Misha took the flute in his hand, saying that it won't be his daughter's flute and started playing it. The broken statue of Jesus Christ, a doll on the ground, those crying people near their dear ones, a lonely child crying and walking in search of his whereabouts. those crying after looking at the photographs of their dear ones. The dead bodies of two brothers in an open coffin in the dicky of the car, an aged lady embracing her grandchildren, dead bodies of a couple, dead bodies taken on top of a car, etc. were shown. Food was distributed in the relief camp. Vanya asked for 2 plates of food, of which one was for his mother. A lady named Marina helped him. Lilith, who was still under the slab, asked Robert whether he had seen her brother. He was looking after her after the death of her parents. Robert informed her that his situation was also not different, and his cousin brother took care of him after the death of his parents in the accident. When Vanya reached near his mother along with Marina, his mother was dead. Vanya was calling his mother to wake up without realizing that she is dead. Marina consoled him. Hingina came near Gayan's father Oram and informed him that Gayan's delivered a baby. But Oram did not like it and was shouting at Hingina. Then she told him that Rush sacrificed his life to save her child, and he is a hero. Oram kept silent, and Hingina thanked him and kissed his palm before leaving the place along with her son. The policeman gave a sandwich to Robert. Robert saw Sainik going that way. Suddenly he went near him and embraced. Robert asked him whether he can get a crane to save Lilith. Sainik told him to join his team, so that he can get whatever he needs. Robert saw the watch on Sainik's hand and realized that it is stolen from the customer he met earlier in the parlor. Robert realized that Sainik and the team were on robbery and told Sainik that he is not coming with him. The policeman who came from France for help has been playing with a puppy in the relief camp. He asked Marina whether Vanya knows that his mother is dead. She said no. Vanya was asking Marina about his mother. Marina took him out saying that she will show puppies and all to divert his attention. When Bereznoy and the team were continuing with their rescue operations, they got the dead body of Bereznoy's daughter under a slab. He took the dead body and walked for a while. Then he sat there and cried looking at the dead body of his daughter. Dead bodies were shifted to a truck. Robert came near Bereznoy, who was looking at his family photo. Bereznoy told Robert about his family and cried as he could not save his family members. Robert consoled him saying that his wife and son must be alive and maybe somewhere outside, as they haven't got them from the debris. Bereznoy got up and shook hands with Robert, saying that they should find out about his wife and son. Robert noticed the chain on the neck of Bereznoy and realized that he came in search of the person only who killed his parents. Gayan's father Oram reached the spot where Rush died and apologized for whatever he has done to Gayan's and Rush. Then he reached near Gayan's and apologized to her also and told her to return home. He embraced her and she cried a lot. Robert and Lilith were talking, and Robert asked her whether she was a responsible daughter to her parents. Then she replied that she heard from others that her parents died because of her. Bereznoy reached the relief camp to check on his wife and son there. He saw a board on which photographs of missing persons were pasted. Bereznoy pasted his family photo also thereafter, writing the address. It was getting dark. Lilith was tired and lost hope of being rescued. Robert assured her that he will rescue her, and that he wants to see her. Bereznoy also reached there, and he also assured her that they will bring her out, and told her to wait for some more time. Sainik and allies were looking for the next place to loot. They saw jewelry there, and one gang member named Razy suggested looting that jewelry. Sainik advised him not to do as there was a chance for policemen there, but Razy wanted to loot that jewelry and break the glass with a stone. The policeman heard the sound of broken glasses. Sainik told his allies to complete the looting within 5 minutes, and asked Razy to keep guard outside. The policeman came to the spot and pointed his gun at those inside the jewelry. Razy stabbed the policeman from the back and grabbed the gun. Sainik asked Razy what he has done. Razy told Sainik that they require his brother's truck for leaving that town. He told others that he will lead the team since then, and those who are not afraid of doing anything may join him. The next day a crane reached and Bereznoy and the driver were discussing plans to rescue Lilith. Robert suggested a second crane also, but Bereznoy declined it, saying that they don't have much time, and they can use the truck also. At the same time in the camp, the French police got the photograph pasted on board by Bereznoy and showed it to Marina. She became very happy and kissed the policeman. When Robert and the team started work to rescue Lilith, Sainik and the gang reached the spot and asked Misha to get down from the truck. Robert intervened and Sainik demanded the vehicle. Robert took out his gun, and Razy tried to stab Robert, but happened to get it on Bereznoy. All together attacked the gang and chased them away. Then they continued the rescue operations. They lifted a slab with the crane, and Robert went inside and lifted Lilith out. Everybody becomes happy. Robert went near Bereznoy who was sitting nearby. He was tired after getting stabbed. Bereznoy handed over his chain to Robert, saying that he knows the identity of Robert. Bereznoy told him to trace his family, and then he died. Robert becomes sad and cried sitting there. It was getting dark. Marina reached there with Vanya and told Misha that she came in search of the boy's father. Lilith told Robert that what all happened was really terrifying. Robert replied that they could overcome all the hurdles, but she said it will be in her mind forever. Misha came there along with Marina and Vanya. Robert could understand why they came there and asked Vanya whether he came there in search of his father and hugged him. When Marina asked Robert, he replied that Vanya's father is his relative. Iskopian was pulling the horse cart even then, and Lilith approached him and thanked him for gifting the marble table which saved her life. But Iskopian was not able to realize that as he has become a lunatic and continued pulling the cart. The next day morning, Gaines reached the place of their house along with her father Oram. He could rescue his wife from the debris, and they were very happy. His wife asked Oram how can they live because they lost everything. He said that they have to start from the beginning, and as a family they will rebuild everything. Gaines handed over the baby to her mother. The mother looked at the sky and thanked God. Everybody in the camp was in some sort of relief, and they have to start a new life full of hopes and aspirations. Blood bottles were lined up there for the injured. The bread for them was also coming to the camp. More injured persons were being brought to the camp. They have taken the policeman to the hospital who got stabbed by Razi. Sainik and his allies were arrested by the police. Lots of coffins were being stacked on the roadside. Many people were thinking about their future life. A man who was in the rescue team met his mother in the camp and embraced her. Their leader asked everybody to stop all work for a while and directed them to listen to any sound coming out from the debris. Everybody stopped working and kept silent. They heard the sound of a crying baby and then started the hands of the clock there moving. It was a new beginning. The movie ends there with showing some photographs at the time of the earthquake and few frames from the movie. On a short note, Earthquake is definitely worth watch, and you must have a go. Hope you all liked our video. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Bye.